Welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT 360 series session in which we cover the most important J and ESI current affairs from the exam point of view. And warm welcome to all the people here, Vishwajit, Shikha, Vishal, Advitya, Rishabh. So my dear friends, once again a warm welcome to all of you in the today's CT 360 series session in which we will be covering the most important news articles of 20th to 20th, 4th of September 2024. And if you are preparing for RBI, NABARD or EDI exam, let me tell you that this session is really going to help you out in your preparation and in your journey of becoming the next officer in your desired organization. Okay? So my dear friends, if I'm audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. So once again, let me tell you that हमारा जो last session था, that was a revision session which was conducted on Saturday, and I have seen that so many people have come to that session. They have really made sure that yes, they are able to retain all the important information from the exam point of view. And now today we will be covering the topics from 20 to 24th of September 2024. So before starting the session, if you are still new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And apart from that, if you want to access the PDF of the session, you can join our Telegram channel, जिसका link आपको मिलेगा description के अंदर, ठीक है? So before moving on to the session, let's first of all understand about the agenda of the session, the topics that we will be covering in the today's session. So once again, we will be covering some topics which are relevant for both phase 1 and phase 2 and the topics which are relevant for only phase 1. ठीक है? तो पहले दो टॉपिक हमारे phase 1 and 2 दोनों के लिए relevant है, and the next few topics are only relevant for phase 1 only. ठीक है जी? So these are the 7 topics that we will be covering in our today's session, ठीक है? Which includes Ayushman Bharat scheme, एक पेड़ माँ के नाम app, next chief of the year staff, world renowned and other important topics. So let's start with the first topic of our today's session, which is relevant for both phase 1 and phase 2, and that is a scheme. Once again guys, as we already always start with a small story here, तो आज की भी जो scheme है हम basically start करेंगे एक छोटी सी story के साथ. So let me tell you here that there is a person, a small child whose name is Ayushman, and he is with his grandfather, and basically they belong from a poor family from Ranchi. Ranchi झारखंड से ये belong करते हैं, right? The name of the person is Ayushman. So Ayushman is basically having a dream कि मैं भी अपने दादाजी की तरह एक लंबी life जीऊं, and I will also be having a healthy life and a long life. ठीक है? As the name suggests, Ayushman stands for a person who is blessed with long life. ठीक है? So basically, as he basically wanted to have a longer life just like his grandfather, so he write a letter to the government of India that basically I want to live a longer life like my grandfather is living. ठीक है? So, but I don't have much of the facilities, the healthcare facilities which is available to my family because we are not that much wealthy and we are not able to basically afford the basic healthcare facilities. So as a result, government of India basically thought that it's not just about the case of Ayushman, but instead of making Ayushman, we want to make Bharat, the whole Bharat, that is whole India as Ayushman. And that is why the government of India comes up with a scheme that is Ayushman Bharat scheme. ठीक है? So basically guys, Ayushman Bharat scheme was basically launched from Ranchi, Jharkhand. Why? Because Ayushman is from the Ranchi, Jharkhand only. ठीक है? So I believe कि ये एक particular way आपको जरूर help करेगा in order to retain the information from exam point of view कि आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम को कहाँ से start किया गया था. That is from Ranchi, Jharkhand. And why exactly so? Because there is a person who want to live a longer life. That is पूरे भारत को हम एक आयुष्मान एक long life दे सकें, उसके लिए we basically required to provide them a health coverage, a health insurance. And that is why, my dear friends, when we talk about this Ayushman Bharat scheme, basically it is a scheme which has transformed the healthcare of our country, as 6 years of Ayushman Bharat has recently completed. That was the reason that this particular scheme was being there in the news. ठीक है? So my dear friends, if are you guys able to see the whole screen properly, right? Okay. So basically, let me tell you that what exactly is the reason that why exactly the Ayushman Bharat scheme was in the news, because it has recently completed its 6 years since its inception. So let me tell you guys that this scheme was launched on 23rd of September. The scheme was launched on 23rd of September. That is a date on which Ayushman has wrote a letter to the government of India, and government of India quickly come up with a solution with the Ayushman Bharat scheme. And you can see here to my left here that Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is the world's largest government funded health assurance scheme, has recently completed 6 years of its inception. So very important point, all the people who are preparing for NABARD exam or the RBI Grade B officer phase 2 exam, make sure you are covering this scheme because this can be asked in the exam. Apart from that, EDI के जो students हैं उनके लिए भी ये scheme ये news article cover करना काफी important है, ठीक है? So you can see here that it enhances the healthcare access for 12 crore families. See guys, and with a 5 lakh coverage. So let me tell you that in this session I will be discussing the whole scheme with all of you in a detailed manner. But before that, as we've already discussed that Ayushman wants to live a longer life and a healthy life, तो उसके लिए we want to provide a health coverage of 5 lakh to the family. Which family? Because Ayushman was belonging from a poor family, ठीक है? तो जो wealthier है उनके पास तो already health coverage है, health insurances हैं, but what about the poor people? They also want to live a healthy and longer life. That's why Ayushman Bharat scheme has been launched. So you can see here that the scheme was launched in year 2018 from Ranchi, Jharkhand. ठीक है? तो पहली important चीज, और क्योंकि ये scheme क्या provide करती है? एक health coverage. That's why this scheme is under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So the nodal ministry of the scheme will be Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, because this scheme is basically focusing on the health, और फैमिली को पूरा 5 लाख का कवरेज प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा as a part of this scheme. That's why Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And as a part of this scheme, it will be covering 12 crore poor and the vulnerable families. As I told you that we are basically focusing here on the bottom 40% of the population of our nation who are poor and vulnerable. So that is why approx 55 crore people will be covered as a part of the Ayushman Bharat scheme. As I've already told you that yes, in this part we will be providing a health coverage. So एक objective काफी clear है, that is to achieve a vision of universal health coverage. This scheme has been launched by the government of India. Now the second objective is very important, that is to move from sectoral and segmented approach. तो sectoral and segmented approach से हम एक need based approach की तरफ जाएंगे. But कैसे जाएंगे? What exactly does it mean? Let me give you a small example. ठीक है, तो देखिए कि आप एक मार्केट के अंदर जाते हैं and there are 3 different clinics. That is for primary, secondary and tertiary care. और इसको और easy करते हैं. For example, you are going for a बेसिकली अ ट्रीटमेंट, आपको कहीं पर कोल्ड हुआ है, किसी को बोन्स का प्रॉब्लम है, किसी को आइस का प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है? तो आप देख सकते हो कि हर एक पर्टिकुलर काइंड ऑफ बीमारी के लिए, फॉर एवरी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ डिजीज देयर इज अ डिफरेंट shop that you need to visit. But instead of this, what if we are having just one single mall in which there are all these particular shops at a one single end, so that we are not required to go through these multiple shops. Instead we will be going for this one single mall. So that is basically called from segmented approach, from sectoral and segmented approach to the need based approach. And that's why under this part we will be focusing on comprehensive need based healthcare service. And this scheme is basically a centrally sponsored scheme. और अगर centrally sponsored का मतलब क्या है कि there will be a contribution from both center as well as state. तो सेंटर और स्टेट दोनों का कंट्रीब्यूशन रहेगा इस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम के अंदर, ठीक है? सो आई बिलीव कि अभी तक की सारी डिटेल्स आपको क्लियर होंगी अबाउट आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू अदर इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. तो हु विल बी द बेनिफिशियरी? अब बात आती है कि कौन होगा, क्या आयुष्मान इसके लिए एलिजिबल होगा या नहीं? आयुष्मान विल बी एलिजिबल अगर बेसिकली दैट पर्टिकुलर फैमिली इज एज पर द लेटेस्ट सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस कवरिंग बोथ रूरल एंड अर्बन एरियाज. तो अगर वो एक ऐसी फैमिली है आयुष्मान की जो रूरल एरिया से बिलोंग करती है, अर्बन एरिया से बिलोंग करती है, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो द पार्ट ऑफ द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कास्ट सेंसस. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, this particular list also going to include families which are covered under the RSBY. Can anybody tell me the full form of this RSBY? That is Rashtriya Suraksha Bima Yojana. ठीक है? So but are not present in the SCC 2011 database. So basically these families will be, अगर आयुष्मान की फैमिली इस पर्टिकुलर क्लास से बिलोंग करती है, definitely they will be able to take the benefit of the scheme. ठीक है? Now for every insurance coverage, guys, we always remember that there is a premium that we need to pay. But यहाँ पर family will not be paying the premium. Here, basically, the government is going to be pay the premium, and what exactly it will be? It will be rupees 1052 पर ईयर फैमिली, ठीक है। सो रेशियो ऑफ कंट्रीब्यूशन, अगर कंट्रीब्यूशन की बात करते हैं तो यहां पर कितना रहेगा, 60:40 रहेगा इन ऑल द स्टेट्स, बट देयर इज अ एक्सेप्शन, देयर इज ऑलवेज एन एक्सेप्शन फॉर द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स एंड द हिमालयन स्टेट्स, एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज, यहां पर जो कंट्रीब्यूशन का रेशियो रहेगा दैट विल बी 90:10, तो 90:10 कंट्रीब्यूशन रहेगा आपका इसके अंदर, एंड 60:40 रहेगा इन ऑल द अदर स्टेट्स. Apart from that, when we talk about the union territories, so if the union territory is with legislature, then the contribution will be 60:40 between center and UT. But when we talk about the UTs without legislature, तो वहां पर 100% contribution will be there of the central government. ठीक है? So I believe yes, all the people are really able to got this particular point. ठीक है, तो कितना contribution रहेगा, what exactly will be the ratio, what exactly will be the premium, so all of these things we are really required to remember from the exam point of view. ठीक है, so this is something that we have to remember here. Let me tell you guys, basically this scheme was earlier known as the National Health Protection Scheme, and now it has been changed to the Ayushman Bharat Scheme. I hope that these points are very much clear to all of you. Now let's move on to the next part. तो कितने लाख का कवरेजेस इस स्कीम के अंदर प्रोवाइड करेंगे, बेसिकली अंडर दिस पार्ट 5 लाख पर बेनिफिशियरी फैमिली पर एनम विल बी प्रोवाइडेड फॉर सेकेंडरी एंड द टर्शियरी केयर, और कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं होगी फैमिली का साइज, चाहे कितने भी मेंबर्स हो फैमिली के अंदर, देयर विल बी नो रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑन फैमिली साइज, एज और द जेंडर ऑफ द पीपल हु आर देयर इन द फैमिली, और सभी प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशंस को यहां पर कवर किया जाएगा फ्रॉम द डे वन. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर मान लीजिए किसी को पहले से कोई ऐसी बीमारी है एंड नाउ दैट पर्टिकुलर फैमिली हैज एनरोल्ड फॉर द आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम, सो दैट प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशन विल नॉट बी कवर्ड. दिस इज नॉट द केस. ऑल द प्री एग्जिस्टिंग कंडीशंस विल बी कवर्ड फ्रॉम डे वन अंडर द आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम, और ये स्कीम बेसिकली 3 डेज का कवर करेगी अप टू प्री हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन एंड 15 डेज पोस्ट हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन. As a part of this part scheme, that the people can avail benefit in both public and empaneled private facilities. तो यहाँ पर public और private hospital दोनों के अंदर यहाँ पर ये फायदा उठा सकते हैं स्कीम का. And who will be beneficiary? Who will be eligible here? So children up to 5 years of age, they are also एलिजिबल टू अवेल ट्रीटमेंट ऑन आयुष्मान कार्ड. तो अपने पेरेंट्स के कार्ड पर यहां पर 5 साल तक के बच्चे भी दे विल बी एलिजिबल इन ऑर्डर टू टेक द बेनिफिट ऑफ आयुष्मान भारत स्कीम. ठीक है, तो आयुष्मान जिसकी अगर हम बात कर लेते हैं कि अगर वो 5 इयर्स तक का था तो वो भी यहां पर एलिजिबल होगा. Apart from that, this card can be simultaneously used for children and either of the parents in the 2 different hospitals. तो 2 अलग-अलग हॉस्पिटल्स में भी हम एक साथ ही उस कार्ड को यूज कर सकते हैं. And this benefit, guys, let me tell you that this Ayushman Bharat scheme is portable across the whole country. ऐसा नहीं है कि if there is a person who is from Haryana, he will not be able to take the benefit if he is right now residing in Andhra Pradesh. So basically, this scheme is portable across the country. The people who are traveling from one place to another, they can also avail the benefit as a part of Ayushman Bharat scheme. ठीक है? सो आई बिलीव गाइज, अगर आपको यहां तक की डिटेल्स एकदम क्लियर हैं और आपको आयुष्मान की कहानी क्लियर है तो प्लीज मुझे थम्स अप दीजिए चैट बॉक्स के अंदर दैट यस वी आर क्लियर विद दिस पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट ऑफ पार्ट, एंड देन वी विल बी कवरिंग द अदर इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स अबाउट दिस स्कीम. तो बेसिकली क्या याद रखना है, आयुष्मान एक बच्चा है हु वांट टू लिव अ लॉन्गर एंड हेल्दी लाइफ, एंड ही इज फ्रॉम रांची झारखंड. 2018 में उनको ये हुआ था that I want to live a longer and healthy life like my grandfather, and that's why he wrote a letter to the government of India, and government of India has come up with the Ayushman Bharat scheme. ठीक है, so now guys, a very important update to this particular scheme, that recently Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana was extended to all the senior citizens aged 70 and above. So guys, let me tell you that earlier this was not the case, but now these people who are above 70 and above, irrespective of their socio-economic status, they have also been included as a part of, as a beneficiary under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and these people will be provided a new distinct card under the scheme. And the senior citizens, तो यहां पर भी सी अब हमने देखा कि senior citizens को इंक्लूड किया गया है, राइट, बट यहां पर भी कुछ अलग से एक्सेप्शंस होंगी. देयर विल बी डिफरेंट केसेस फॉर द सीनियर सिटीजंस. लाइक देयर इज अ सीनियर सिटीजन जिसकी फैमिली ऑलरेडी कवर्ड थी प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना के अंदर, सो यहां पर उस सिटीजन को कवर किया जाएगा और साथ ही साथ उस सिटीजन को एडिशनल 5 लाख रुपीस का टॉप अप कवर भी मिलेगा ऑन एनुअल बेसिस, बिकॉज हिज फैमिली वाज अर्लियर was already availed, already the beneficiary of प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना. Apart from that, all other senior citizens, तो यहाँ पर उनको कवर मिलेगा 5 लाख रुपीस पर ईयर तक का, ठीक है, on a family basis. Apart from that, guys, there are so many people who are having, who are basically under the ESI scheme. There are people who are basically having their own private health insurances. So whether they will be covered or not, तो ये question भी आयुष्मान के मन में आया कि my grandfather, will he be covered or not? So basically, seniors over 70 with other public health insurance like CGHS, ECHS, Ayushman, CAPF, they can choose कि वो कौन सी स्कीम के साथ जाना चाहते हैं, whether they want to go with this scheme or they want to go with the प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना. So it will be their decision that with which scheme they want to go to. Apart from that, the senior citizens who are above 70 years, but they are having the private insurance or they are under ESI scheme, they will also be eligible as a part of the Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana. So I believe guys that आयुष्मान और उसके ग्रैंडफादर से रिलेटेड सारी डिटेल्स आपको सारी क्लियर हैं कि सीनियर सिटीजन्स के लिए भी क्या क्या यहाँ पर कंडीशंस रखी गई हैं एज अ पार्ट ऑफ आयुष्मान भारत प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना. एंड मेक श्योर कीजिए कि आप इस स्कीम को अच्छे से कवर करें बिकॉज इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. ठीक है, तो हमने काफी इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स को यहाँ कवर कर लिया है. वी हैव ऑलरेडी कवर्ड अबाउट द की इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स. ठीक है, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज आर्टिकल ऑफ द टुडेज सेशन. और अगला न्यूज आर्टिकल एक काफी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल है क्योंकि बहुत टाइम से हम इसको न्यूज के अंदर देख रहे हैं. एंड द न्यूज आर्टिकल इज अबाउट एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन. अगर आपने नाबार्ड का एग्जाम दिया है तो आप देख सकते हो कि नाबार्ड के एग्जाम में द क्वेश्चन वाज ऑन द एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन, दैट दिस कैंपेन वाज लॉन्च्ड ऑन the occasion of World Environment Day, and on which date we celebrate the World Environment Day. That was basically asked in the NABARD Grade A officer phase 1 exam. ठीक है, सो आप यहां पर देख सकते हो कि recently the government of India has come up with the application, a mobile app for the एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन. ठीक है, एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन जिसको लॉन्च किया गया, तो उसके लिए एक यहां पर ऐप लॉन्च किया गया है रिसेंटली बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. एंड दिस इज बेसिकली अ प्लेटफॉर्म एंड दिस इज गोइंग टू अलाउ द यूजर्स under which they can plant and dedicate a tree in the honor of their mothers. तो हम सब जानते हैं that एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया is basically encourage the people in order to plant a tree to honor their mothers and the mother earth. So basically guys, you can see here that this app is also going to allow users to contribute towards the environmental sustainability. So basically this एक पेड़ मां के नाम app provides both the environmental sustainability and also provides some personal touch. Personal touch कैसे provide करेंगे? Because if basically you are someone who is planting a tree to honor your mother, so you can just upload, you can click a picture of that particular tree and you can upload that picture with the help of this एक पेड़ मां के नाम application. So you can see here that it will provide users to easily upload pictures of the trees they are planting as a tribute to their mothers, and they will also provide details about the tree type, location and the occasion for planting the tree. तो यहाँ पर further details भी आप उस particular tree के बारे में provide कर सकते हो with the help of एक पेड़ मां के नाम campaign app. ठीक है, so I believe कि ये चीज आपको definitely clear है. और basically I have taken a detailed session of एक पेड़ मां के नाम campaign which was launched on the World Environment Day, which we celebrate every year on 5th of June. So on every 5th of June we celebrate basically World Environment Day, and on that same occasion एक पेड़ मां के नाम campaign was been launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to encourage people to plant trees in honor of their mothers, symbolizing the natural roles of both mothers and the mother earth. So this is something that we need to cover. And what exactly are the targets? The targets are to reach 80 crore trees by September 2024 and 140 crore trees by March 2025. ठीक है, तो सितंबर एक ऐसा मंथ है guys which is really very important जहां पर हम ऐसी न्यूज आर्टिकल्स देखने को मिलते हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट अगर हम बात करते हैं, there is also a very important thing that we celebrate in the month of September, and what exactly it is? That is राष्ट्रीय पोषण माह. राष्ट्रीय पोषण माह हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं और आपके सामने एक होमवर्क है. आप सभी को मुझे बताना है कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर द डिफरेंट थीम्स ऑफ राष्ट्रीय पोषण माह दैट वी सेलिब्रेट इन द मंथ ऑफ सितंबर एंड व्हाट इज द थीम फॉर दिस ईयर फॉर राष्ट्रीय पोषण माह. तो आप मुझे इस सेशन के बाद बताएंगे चैट बॉक्स के अंदर. सो दैट वाज ऑल द इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज आर्टिकल्स व्हिच वर रेलेवेंट फॉर बोथ फेज 1 एंड द फेज 2. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द आर्टिकल्स व्हिच आर रेलेवेंट फॉर ओनली फेज 1. So first of the news article here is about the new Air Chief Marshal of our country, and the name of the person is Amarpreet Singh. So Amarpreet Singh ji has been recently appointed by the government of India as the next chief of the air staff in the rank of Air Chief Marshal. तो हमारे जो next air staff के chief होंगे, that will be Amarpreet Singh ji, who will be replacing Vivek Ram Chaudhary as the chief of air staff. And this appointment will be effective from September 30, 2024. ठीक है, तो यहां पर हमने सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स को कवर कर लिया है फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. बढ़ते हैं अगली इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज की तरफ. दैट इज अबाउट द वर्ल्ड रीनो डे. सो वर्ल्ड रीनो डे वी सेलिब्रेट एवरी ईयर on 22nd of September every year in order to promote the conservation of the rhinoceros. So this day is about the awareness of all the 5 rhino species and the work being done to save them. Apart from that, guys, let me tell you that this particular World Rhino Day, we celebrate this on 22nd September every year. But this year, the World Rhino Day, basically, it is being celebrated by International Rhino Foundation with the title of Keep the 5 Alive. So Keep the 5 Alive is basically the name, the title of this World Rhino Day this year. ठीक है, so एक कुछ additional information भी यहाँ पर I have tried to brought here for all of you that Indian rhino is the largest of the 3 Asian species. So guys, यहाँ पर कुछ important details हैं जो कि rhinos के बारे में पढ़नी चाहिए. From the Indian aspect, from the Indian point of view, that is Indian rhino जो है, that is the largest of the 3 Asian species. And with over 70% जो उसकी population है, it is residing in Assam's Kaziranga Park. And Assam is collectively home to 80% of the global population of the greater one-horned rhinos. So these information are also very important. ठीक है, कौन सी डेट को हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं? 22 सितंबर को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं वर्ल्ड रीनो डे. Now let's move on to the next news article. That is the sign language day. अभी हमने बात की 22nd September की. Now let's move on to the 23rd of September. So 23rd September every year we celebrate International Day of Sign Languages, and this year the theme for this particular day is to sign up for sign language rights. So guys, why exactly we celebrate the International Day of Sign Languages? Let me tell you, as per the World Deaf Corporation, so basically more than 70 million people are deaf across the world. More than 70 million people are deaf across the world, and that is the reason we celebrate International Day of Sign Languages. ठीक है, let me tell you about from these 70 million, more than 80% of them are living in the developing countries. More than 80% are living in developing countries. More than 70 million people are deaf across the world, and that's why every year on 23rd September we celebrate the International Day of Sign Languages. And this day was first ever celebrated in 2018, and this basically day marks the establishment of World Federation of the Deaf. So World Federation of Deaf का data था ये जो मैंने आपको यहाँ quote किया है, that is 17 million deaf people are there across the world. ठीक है, 1951 में इसको establish किया गया था. Let me tell you another important point, guys, that from 2018 we started celebrating the International Day of Sign Languages 2024. So अगर हम बात करते हैं कि ये कब से हम celebrate करने लगे थे, so basically let me tell you that every year we celebrate from 23rd to 29th September the International Week of Deaf People. ठीक है, तो International Week of Deaf People हम celebrate करते हैं 23rd to 29th September हर साल. So basically 2018 में the first day of this particular week was celebrated as the International Day of Sign Languages Day. तो इसीलिए now every year we celebrate on 23rd September the International Day of Sign Languages. ठीक है, I hope that this point is very much clear to all of you. The theme for year 24 is very much clear. Sign up for sign language rights. That is the theme of this particular year. Now let me tell you that in India as well there are some initiatives which have been launched as a part of this particular event. So you can see here that Indian Sign Language Dictionary has, in the Indian Sign Language Dictionary, new 2500 terms have been included. So this is something that we have to remember from the exam point of view. So 2500 new terms have been added on the occasion of International Sign Language Day in the Indian Sign Language Dictionary. Apart from that, apart from this part, the Indian Sign Language Dictionary has now been made available in total 10 different languages. And what exactly these 10 different languages are? These includes Tamil, Telugu, Assamese, Bengali, Marathi, Odia, Punjabi, Gujarati, Kannada and Malayalam. So these are the 10 languages in which the Indian Sign Language Dictionary is presently available to the people. Apart from that, as a part of this day, celebration, the SWAS platform has also been launched by the government of India, which offers the accessibility to 25 national institute, composite regional centers and the ministry websites. तो यहाँ पर SWAS platform basically help करता है कि वो इन सभी 25 national institutes, composite regional centers और ministries की website को यहाँ पर जो deaf people हैं basically they can access this particular websites. ठीक है? So this is something that we need to remember from exam point of view. Now let's move on to the next news article. So Pradhan Mantri Modi ji has congratulated Anur Kumar Disanke for his victory in the Sri Lankan presidential election. So he has recently become the new president of Sri Lanka, replacing Ranil Wickremesinghe. Let me tell you guys that he was declared the president-elect by Election Commission of Sri Lanka when they were completed with the second count of votes. और ये जो second count of votes हैं, it was basically done to add the preference votes. Let me tell you, this is the very first time that the country's election history has basically used this kind of method. So basically यहाँ पर सबसे important चीज क्या है कि इस method को use करने ये जो method पहली बार use हुआ है, it has been used in the Sri Lanka. Apart from that, तो श्रीलंका में पहली बार इसको use किया गया है, ठीक है? And who is the new president of Sri Lanka? Anur Kumar Disanke. ठीक है? So this is something that we need to remember from exam point of view. Let's move on to the next news article. That is about the Navik Sagar Parikrama. तो नाविक सागर परिक्रमा का सेकंड एक्सपेडिशन यहां पर स्टार्ट किया जाएगा इन द अपकमिंग डेज एंड लेट मी टेल यू दैट अंडर दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट दीज टू ऑफिसर्स फ्रॉम द इंडियन नेवी दे विल बी सर्कमनेविगेटिंग द वर्ल्ड. ठीक है? तो बेसिकली चक्कर लगाया जाएगा इनके द्वारा ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड और इंडियन नेवी विल बी एम्बार्किंग ऑन दिस एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी मिशन ऑफ सर्कमनेविगेटिंग द ग्लोब विद द सेकंड एडिशन ऑफ नाविक सागर परिक्रमा एक्सपेडिशन. अगर हम बात करते हैं इस एक्सपेडिशन की तो फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम गाइस इट वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय द इंडियन नेवी इन ईयर 2017 व्हेन 6 ऑफिसर्स टुक पार्टिसिपेट इन दिस सच काइंड ऑफ इवेंट एंड नाउ गाइस INS इंडियन नेवल सेलिंग वेसल तारिणी विल बी sailing on this challenging expedition jahan par it will be carrying 2 Indian officers. The name of the officers are mentioned, that is Lieutenant Commodore Dilna K and Rupa A. So these are the 2 people who will be going for this expedition. The expedition will be starting from INS Mandovi of Goa and they will be navigating more than 21,600 nautical miles, relying solely on the wind power. There will be no external assistance which will be provided to these 2 officers on their voyage to the globe. And they will be becoming the first from India to accomplish such a feat in the double-handed mode. तो ये एक important part है जो आपको याद रखना चाहिए from the exam point of view. That they will be first from India to accomplish such kind of feat in the double-handed mode. So this is basically a very important news article. So you should remember the name of these 2 officers. The name is Navik Sagar Parikrama second expedition. ठीक है? So inaugural edition was there in the 2017. So this is something that we need to remember here. So now my dear friends, we are done with the important news articles. So till now I was basically providing you all the important content and I tried my best to provide that in an informative manner. And now it's your time to give me the right answers in the comment section, because just covering this current affairs is not at all sufficient. We are also required to solve the MCQs which we are going to solve in the exam as well. The first question is here on the screen to all of you, which is on आयुष्मान भारत प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना. तो अगर आप सभी को आयुष्मान की कहानी याद है तो क्विकली इस कहानी को याद कीजिए और try to answer these particular questions. Try to go through these statements and identify the right answer from this part. So which of the following statements is or are correct about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? So central sector scheme was launched in 2018 from Jharkhand. तो हम जानते हैं कि 2018 में लॉन्च किया था from Ranchi, Jharkhand under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Absolutely right. The premium for the family is 1052 per year per family, and under the scheme the health coverage of 5 lakh per beneficiary family per annum will be provided. But guys, what exactly is the right part? So people are giving me the right answer that option D is the right answer. Well done my dear friends. What a great effort from all of you that you have basically answered me the question ekdam incorrectly. Why so? Because option D is not the answer. Just try to read out the things again. Let's go and start with the very first statement. The first statement states that the central sector scheme was launched in 2018 from Ranchi and Jharkhand. I told you that this scheme we are having the contribution from both center and the state. That means it is a centrally sponsored scheme and not the central sector scheme. So that's why the first statement is incorrect. So we have to make sure, my dear friends, that always whenever we are answering any kind of question, यहाँ पर जल्दबाजी में आंसर नहीं करना है, हर एक कीवर्ड को अच्छे से पढ़ना है, बिकॉज इट कैन रियली क्रिएट chaos फॉर यू इन योर एग्जाम. ठीक है, तो सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम नहीं है, ये एक सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम है. दैट्स व्हाई फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. राइट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन बी, दैट इज 2 and 3 ओनली आर करेक्ट हियर. ठीक है, तो डू नॉट वरी, ये गलती आपने आज यहां पर की है, बट एग्जाम के टाइम पर आई कैन गारंटी यू कि आप ये गलती बिल्कुल नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है, बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट द एक पेड़ मां के नाम कैंपेन. तो यहाँ पर 3 स्टेटमेंट्स है. वंस अगेन, राइट नाउ आई एम वंस अगेन वार्निंग यू, प्लीज मेक श्योर कि सारी स्टेटमेंट्स को अच्छे से कवर करें, अच्छे से पढ़ें, उसके बाद ही आंसर करें. ठीक है, एब्सोल्युटली राइट विश्वजीत, इट वाज द ब्लंडर फ्रॉम ऑल द पीपल, बट डू नॉट वरी, this happens, but yes, we have to take a lesson from that. That is more important. So it was launched by Indian Prime Minister on the occasion of World Environment Day, celebrated every year on 5th of July. Second statement, what is the aim? To encourage people to plant trees in honor of their mothers. Absolutely right. Third statement, Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam app has been launched as a unique platform, or it will be allowing users to provide details about the tree type, location and the occasion. So which of the following statements are इनकरेक्ट? दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई हियर. ठीक है, यहां पर देखिए इनकरेक्ट कौन सा है, तो कौन सी स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है यहां पर. सो आई कैन सी इन द चैट बॉक्स, शिखा, पल्लू, विश्वजीत, अद्वितीय, ऑल द पीपल सेइंग ऑप्शन ए इज द राइट आंसर. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. व्हाई इट इज इनकरेक्ट? व्हाई इट इज इनकरेक्ट? बिकॉज यहां पर द डेट इज इनकरेक्ट. इट शुड बी 5th of June and not 5th of July. That's why the statement number 1 is incorrect here. Absolutely right, guys. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is about the International Day of Sign Languages. It is celebrated every year on which date and what is the theme? So what is the date on which we celebrate this particular day? That is 23rd of September. But what is the theme for this particular year for International Day of Sign Languages? That is sign up for sign language rights. ठीक है, तो this is basically the sign up. Do not worry, I will be correcting that in the PDF, and the right answer is option A only. ठीक है, तो option A is the right answer. Sign up for sign language rights. Absolutely right. Option A is the right answer. If I ask you that what exactly is the International Week of Deaf, so what exactly is the duration of that week? That is 23rd to 29th of September. ठीक है, 23rd to 29th September is the duration for that particular week that we have covered. Absolutely right, my dear friends. I can see in the chat box all the people have given me the right answer to this question. Well done. So now it's the time for the homework question for all of you, and here is the homework question on Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर आपको मुझे देना होगा इस पर्टिकुलर सेशन के बाद कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. ठीक है, एंड लेट मी टेल यू दैट ऑल द पीपल हु विल बी टेलिंग मी द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन, दे विल बी द स्टार परफॉर्मर्स ऑफ दिस सेशन, एंड आई विल बी टेकिंग योर नेम इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन. ठीक है, तो यहां पर अगर हम बात करते हैं लास्ट सेशन की, तो अभी हम जल्दी से डिस्कस करेंगे लास्ट सेशन के स्टार परफॉर्मर्स को. तो क्वेश्चन वाज ऑन द बायो राइट स्कीम. वी वर रिक्वायर्ड टू आइडेंटिफाई करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हियर. तो यहां पर बेसिकली राइट आंसर वाज ऑप्शन सी, दैट 1 and 3 वाज द राइट आंसर. This is basically not the newly launched component of the scheme. The newly launched component was biomanufacturing and biofoundry. ठीक है, so option statement number 2 was incorrect. Right answer was option C, that is 1 and 3 only. So guys, these are all the star performers from the last session, and you can see here the biomanufacturing and biofoundry was basically the new component which has been launched as a part of bio right scheme. So Kritika, Dreams, Hashira, Amruta, Shivam, Shreya, Timely, Himadri, Prerna, Tamiz, Anushka, then Vanshika, Kalyan, Shubhanshu, Rupal. So all the people, guys, well done to all of you. You guys have really performed well in that particular question. और इसी तरीके से I want all of you to always performing and stay dedicated and focus on your preparation, and you are already, you will definitely be going to be the next officer in your desired organization. ठीक है, so guys, I believe कि आज का सेशन आप सभी को पसंद आया होगा, and if you are having any queries, you can definitely mention your queries in the chat box. और अगर आप इस सेशन को रिकॉर्डिंग फॉर्म में देख रहे हैं, तो you can mention your queries in the comment section of the session, and you can also share your queries at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 8146207241. So guys, it was really great to have all of you in the today's session. We will be meeting you in the next session. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.